Raft is an acronym for Role, Audience, Format, and Topic. The Raft activity serves as an invitation to students, utilizing their readiness, interests, and learning profiles. Rafts are powerful pre, ongoing, and summative assessments. The Raft is another kind of differentiated activity which speaks to me too of ways that we ensure that we're really looking at the skills that we want kids to have and the deep understandings and having them process in a way that's most meaningful to them. And I wondered what your experiences might have been with Rafts.
From the student's point of view, I think it's a great way to engage them in showing their connections with maybe a unit of study in social studies or with a specific novel study that we've done, and they can take on that role of a character or of a person in a specific time period and then really show us, as teachers, what they have been able to learn from that. And at the same time that everybody's final product is at a different place. And again, that comes back to that fair.
The Raft is such a great way to go cross-curriculum with things. You can work on writing skills and author's voice and bring in research and all different kinds of avenues of approach across curricular areas, content areas, as well as that. So and I think it's an engaging, again, another invitation for students. It's very meaningful.
All eyes on me.
All eyes on you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, last week we completed our literature study of the book Bridge to Terabithia. And we also had the awesome chance to go and see the movie. And then we came back to school and we compared and we contrasted the characters from the story and the movie, as well as the events that took place. And today you are going to be completing a raft writing activity in which you get to put yourselves in the shoes of one of the characters from the story Bridge to Terabithia. But before we even begin our raft writing activity, let's talk about some of the characters from the story. So let's take a look at our story map. Who can tell me who are some of the characters from the story? Colin. Jesse. Who is Jesse? He is Maybelle's brother. Yes. Okay. Brandy. Who is Leslie? And she just moved to the area, didn't she? Great. Chris? Well, what I'm going to have you do when I say let's do it now, I'd like you to quietly return to your seats. I'm going to have you organize your table. I need you to take out a pencil. And then I'm going to ask one person from each learning club to go back to the back counter and get a tote of supplies. And I'd like to have those supplies left right in the center of your table. Are we ready to start our rafts? Yeah. Awesome. Let's do it now. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 30 seconds to show me that you are ready to go. Please make sure you leave all the supplies inside your tote.
Are these actually going to be the ones we're going to use now?
Okay. Please give me a thumbs up if you are ready. All eyes on me.
All eyes on you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, raft writing is writing with a twist. There are 4 parts to writing a raft. The R in raft stands for role. That's the role that you are going to take on, or the point of view from which you are writing. The A stands for the audience. Who are you writing to? The F is the format, the type of writing that you are going to do. And the A in raft, or the T in raft, stands for topic, the topic that you are going to write about. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have 8 different rafts, and you are going to have to choose one raft today. But before you make that decision, I'd like you to listen to all of the rafts, and I may have some questions for you as we go along. The first raft choice is you would take on the role of Jess Aarons. Your audience, who you are writing to, is Maybelle. The format, you can either choose to make a warning notice or you can create a poster. And the topic is several good reasons why she may not swing on the magic rope to Terabithia. What happened to that rope in the story, Shelby? Okay, so Jess is warning Maybell. Your next Raft choice, you would take on the role of Leslie Burke. Your audience is Judy and Bill Burke, her parents. The format in this Raft is to make a list of pros and cons. What do I mean by pros and cons? Nireli, what do I mean by pros and cons?
The good things and the bad.
Right. Thanks. The pros are the good things, the cons are the bad things. And the topic is thoughts of moving from the city to the farm. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you have a couple of choices to make. First of all, you need to decide which raft you'd like to complete. Also, you need to decide, do you want to work independently? What do I mean by independently? What do I mean by independently? Donovan? By yourself, or would you like to work with a partner? Okay, if you are working with a partner, you can choose to create one piece together, or you can work together and create your own piece of work. Now, what should you do when you finish your raft activity? What's something that you could do? Brandy? You could read, absolutely. We have 25 AR points during this grading period. Vicki, what else could we do? You can choose to complete an anchor activity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you another choice. You can even choose to do another raft if you have enough time. Are there any questions? Chris?
Can you work with 3?
I will let you work in a trio, sure, if you'd like to. Absolutely. Any other questions? Tommy?
If you decide to do the contract with a letter, can you use line paper?
Absolutely, and I did, thank you, Tommy. I did put lined paper in your tote. Any other questions? We'll be sharing our raft later. Let's do it now.
Next, students will be engaged, either individually or in small groups, in working on their raft.
You can feel free to move around, ladies and gentlemen. If we have the 2 round tables, if you'd like to pull up a chair to another table, that's just fine.
Yeah, let's do it. And this is one of the enemies.
Okay. Vicki, what are you going to do?
Let's go do it together.
The map? Okay. Great, you're going to work together. Awesome. Okay. Feel free to pull up the chair if you need to, Nireli, over here. Any questions, Vicki? Are you okay? Great. You can get a clipboard if you'd like to. Just get comfortable.
In the raft activity that you were using, you're going to talk a little bit about your intentionality with individual students, how you design the raft and what the purpose of some of those are.
I wanted to make sure that I had a wide variety of choices for the students. I wanted to make sure that I have many students that love to draw. They're very bodily kinesthetic, so they may choose to make the poster. Okay. Some of the students are more verbal linguistic. They will choose to write a letter or make a list or write the contract. But I try to provide a wide variety of choices for them so that each student can be successful at his or her own level.
One of the things I really liked is it seemed like you differentiated by interest because they all identified different characters that they sort of personally connected with. So you had different characters to choose from as a starting place, as well as, you know, the format itself is differentiated, as you said so wonderfully, by the learning style pieces. But I would think, too, the topics are differentiated by readiness.
Readiness level, absolutely.
Right. So that they can choose something that they have a comfort
that they can
level.
be, exactly, that they can be successful at.
And it looked like that was probably a processing kind of activity, Sherry, where it wasn't necessarily an end product, but they're still developing that deeper meaning of the story, making relationships.
Right. It's actually deeper level thinking because they're having to put themselves in the shoes of one of the characters and then choose the audience that they are going to write to and the type of writing as well as the format.
So the writer's voice piece is coming in as well as that more inferential thinking. It was wonderful. Near the end of the class, the students begin to share what they've completed thus far with their rafts.
Well, I'm doing a contract that's from Miss Edmonds to Jess, not to give up your dreams.
Okay.
And what I got so far is, Dear Jess, you can draw better than anyone else I've ever seen. When you're older, I recommend that you take art classes or attend an art school. I know that how close you and Leslie were, and I think she would want you to follow your art dream. I'm sure if you try, put your artwork in an art gallery when you're older, people will love your work. When you're older and famous, make sure you call sometimes and tell me about your great accomplishments.
Great. Off to a nice start, Tommy. Let's give Tommy a round of applause. Anybody else that would like to share? Brandy.